the idea is there was a conference and Coach Saban mentioned that Texas A&M, who is coached by Coach Jimbo Fisher, who was once on his coaching staff at Alabama, at LSU, and he mentioned that they bought all 3 of their top 5 or their 5-star recruits. Now, if you don't know, the idea is right now name, image, and likeness for college players is really taking precedence, way more precedence than ever in college sports. Before, you could not get paid. College players were basically living off of stipends for, a month of $100, $200, very, very low money, and trying to, piecemeal themselves into getting into the NFL so they could take care of their families. Now, they got an idea where, hey, if you're the top 5 recruit, hey, guess what? I'm the number 1 receiver in the world or in the country. I'm about to go play for Texas A&M, and I'm gonna take a picture with my man Joe McMillan. Joe McMillan's kid is gonna pay me $50,000, and I'm gonna go get that money to my mama. Like, what is wrong with that? I don't see a problem with that. Some of these kids,
I love it,
and I'm an adult now, so some of these young men are coming from conditions that you and I could not imagine, and they've been playing sports for their families since they've been 10, and been swearing they're gonna get into the league. So now, if I could get my mama, who been working at a plant, but her knee hurt, so she can't go back to work, $20,000 to pay the rent for 2 years or something like that, I'm gonna do it, and I'm going to go to where it makes more sense. And guess what? Everything is bigger in Texas. That's the word, right?
Yeah.
So guess what?
What they say.
Texas A&M was feeding into it. Now Jimbo Fisher on the back end was going, well, how you gonna blame me? You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. This is what we all kind of came to an agreement on.
Nothing illegal was done.
Nothing illegal was done.
You're playing by the rules.
But
they just spending some money.
And you know what Coach Prime said? This was just a ploy for the boosters at Alabama to begin to use all of their facilities to bring in these players. There's somebody out there that wants that money, and you kept your mouth shut, and that young man could have had 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, but you didn't say nothing. From now on, you want to have the number 1 recruiting class? How about you talk to these young men and you encourage them to that I'm gonna get you some money for your mama and your mama and your peepaw so they could be all right and come down here and see.
The quarterback Bryce Young, he got some NIL money, for his name, image, and likeness. So my thing with Nick Saban is
this is bigger than me.
Right, yeah, it's bigger than Nick.
Bigger than Nick Saban.
It's bigger than that.
My problem with Nick Saban is he acting like he not benefiting from the transfer portal and NIL. You know
Thank you.
We just got Jamison Williams, who transferred in the transfer portal from Ohio State, and he was drafted number 12 in the league. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting players in the transfer portal. You're getting top tier recruits still. But I think he's just mad because he's seeing the rest of the country, nations.
Yeah, they're catching up. They're catching up.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing that hurt his heart the most,
especially with Georgia,
and probably my man, youngster Kevin Coleman, all right, the top ranked slot receiver, and he plays corner, right? He had already committed to Florida State. He committed to Florida State. He decommitted from Florida State to go play with Coach Prime at Jackson State. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Jackson State, but Jackson State is a HBCU. Ain't nobody that been the number 1 player went to HBCU yet. So right now, the precedence is being changed because the narrative is being written by someone who actually played football at the highest tier ever. Because ain't nobody better than Coach Prime. Okay. And the young man said
what position does he play?
He plays corner. So I want to go learn from the best corner ever. I want to get looked at by NFL scouts. I want to probably dominate. Like, I'm gonna be on any side of the field.
I want to
see him in the spring game.
I want to
play. He played both sides.
He played anything. He played
receiver and cornerback. He caught like 2 deep
touchdowns. Yeah, he played everywhere.
And he caught a pick in the spring game.
His thing was he played everywhere. He played everywhere. He's a very competitive young man. But I think that also, and we're not going to get racial about it, but to have someone of that stature come out of high school and change the narrative about going to HBCU, there are people who are not of our hue that are upset about that, and the words, literally the words, these players were bought, puts a whole nother connotation into the conversation, because you know why? What was the last time African American was bought or sold? y'all, do I have to tell you? Do I got to say it? So that was just the wrong words.
I'm not even answering that question.
That was the wrong. He used the wrong words. So when he said Coach Prime bought, Coach Prime ain't buy nobody. Coach Prime ain't give that boy $1 million. He just told the young man, "Look, I'm gonna train you up to be a good player." And I saw it personally. He told the boy's mama that if you give me this young man, I'm gonna give him 3 years. I'm gonna send him back a man. Period. And I feel like they offended by that. Like, and it could happen more. And I see 3, 4, 5-star recruits going to Jackson State. I see them going to Alcorn State. I see them coming to South Carolina State. Shout out to South Carolina State. And what, North Carolina A&T, Florida A&M, you know what I'm saying? Grambling, you know what I'm saying? Grambling got Hugh Jackson that used to be the Browns head coach. You know what I'm saying?
They do, yeah.
So
Tennessee State got Eddie Jordan.
Tennessee State got Eddie Jordan.
It's coming up.
So think about it. If I'm a top 5-star recruit and I go, man, I want to make it to the league, I might go play for Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
Because you know why? He still got them connects.
He already got some good recruits. Like the transfer portal was paying off for Hugh.
Yeah,
he got some good guys coming in.
And guess what?
Transferring from Power 5 schools and all.
I'm about to go down there and I'm gonna stand next to Bobo's Chicken Shack. I'm gonna get $20,000, pop my collar.
I think it's deeper than Texas A&M. That's why he put Deion in that. Because he know Deion's mission is to turn these HBCUs into like power.
Yes. Get it back how it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and
some of the best players coming out.
That's why he threw him in there.
Right? Yeah. Let me stir up the pot.
Story. That's why he want to go public. He said, "Nah, I could."
Coach Prime said
behind the scenes, but I want us to.
He want to talk
stage,
in front of everybody,
mic to mic, in front of everybody. I want you to say again what you said we was doing.
And Coach Prime is correct. Coach Prime is correct.
Nick, stop dry snitching, sir.
And see, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, you know what?
I even ask you that, Nick.
And right now, especially in the state of South Carolina, can anybody tell me which school has the most Hall of Famers in the NFL?
South Carolina State.
Thank you, Joe. So that it already is proven
more than Clemson and Carolina combined.
USC, Coastal Carolina.
Wow.
So just take that into effect.
That.
HBCUs have been producing NFL talent. So let's just say that it starts happening from here with our players. I don't know if they're gonna know what to do. You want to have all this swag. You want us to get into our bag? How about we get into our own bag?
Listen, South Carolina State is the HBCU that puts the best talent in the league, honestly, on a consistent basis. Shout out to Vaughn Hargrave. Darius Leonard is the best linebacker in football right now in NFL, in my opinion.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He's from South Carolina State. Just had a 4th round overall pick.
Go to your boys.
Go to the LA Rams.
Go to your boys.
Durant.
Cool.
He's making some noise in training camp right now. Look out for him to make a little splash.
Hey Joe, man, I need you to call your sources up and see how he's doing, man. We might be gotta go bring him a curly burger from Dario or something.
You might need one.